Welcome to Built for This, the podcast where real estate meets real life skills. Hosted by Andrea Lane and Alissa Bickar, each episode features investors turning their unique edge into long-term rental success.
Hello and welcome to the Built for This podcast. I am your co-host, Alissa Bickar, the consultress, bringing you real estate investors that are investing in today's climate, building portfolio, building legacy, and bringing all of themselves to the table to make it a viable business. Andrea, who do we have for him today?
So today we have Rajan Chida. I'm very excited to have him. He's working in a private house as well as he's building a luxury home that'll be open to many people. So Raj, thank you so much for being here. We really appreciate it.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm very excited.
Yeah. So what got you, I always ask this question, what got you into real estate investing? I'm always interested to learn.
It was actually my real estate agent. So, little backstory, I used to sell shoes for 5 years. So I'm 22. I just graduated college, but when I was 17, I I came across a Gary Vee video and he said how you can go to thrift stores and garage sales and flip stuff on eBay. I eventually like really honed down in shoes and did that for 5 years. And on my 21st birthday, I bought a my first investment property, which is 5 minutes away from UVA, which is where I went to college. It's a three-bed, one-bath townhouse. And then a year later, um, I started social media and I had one of my old high school friends bring me a land deal in Front Royal, Virginia, and um, we've been looking to build like a kind of like a micro resort, so multiple cabins on 2.5 acres. We recently just launched our first unit, so the calendar for the first unit, we're doing it as an Airbnb, and yeah, it's been going really well. We've become like the most viewed cabin in the world, like gone viral like a bunch of times. So it's
Hey,
been
listen,
it's been really good.
So
I want to know, like, it sounds like this is like exciting and new-ish for you. Um,
Mhm.
Getting involved as a real estate investor. I heard you say I wanted to flip stuff on eBay and then I bought my first property. What did you see? Like, what was the reason for the transition into real estate?
Yeah, I mean, I just had like a lot of money saved up from shoes. I was really fortunate to have my parents like pay for my school, so I didn't have expenses. So I just saved every dollar that I made from the shoe business. And eventually, like after 4 years, I was like, okay, I'm investing in like some stocks, like put it in like high yield savings account. Like, what's like another investment I can make? And I looked at real estate and I was like, this makes sense for sure. Um, Talked to a bunch of realtors and found someone who went to my school, UVA. He owned 12 properties and he kind of handheld me through like that first process, getting that house.
great. Having a mentor and coach really helps you make the process a whole lot smoother than
A
start
hundred percent,
trying
a
to
hundred
guess.
percent.
Yeah.
So what is it that you love most about real estate? Why, now that you're in it and you own a property, what do you like about it? And what's got you in the mindset to build this luxury resort?
Yeah, I feel like there's a difference between development and like what I'm doing and investing in real estate. I feel like the development I'm doing now is more actually of a business because we're marketing it as like a health retreat. Although like yeah, we are developing it from the ground up. Like it is an investment, but I feel like it's more of a business where the investment property that I have, that's like a pure business because I have a property manager for it. I don't even look at the house anymore. I haven't been to the house in like a year. But with this development, like I'm super active, talking to the contractor, talking to the subcontractors, marketing the property even before it's done, like setting up payment processors so people can start booking, like all that stuff. So I think my favorite, to answer your question, what is my favorite part of real estate? It's interacting with like all the people involved in development. So like I have a partner, he manages like most of the construction stuff, but I get out there to the site and I love talking to like the contractors and stuff like that. So that's my favorite part.
So I think that's great because real estate is all about people, not about property. And so
Mm.
you've learned that at a young age, which is fabulous.
Yeah.
Um, but it sounds to me, and I'm going to use two parts. Your real estate property is running really smoothly. That's why you are not thinking of it as a business, but in actual fact it is. And it
Hmm.
should be a growing income stream for you over time, right?
Hmm.
Are you planning on building that side of your portfolio at all?
Not at the moment. I'm a little bit cash poor right now because I poured all the money kind of into the development to go all in on it.
Yeah.
Um, so in terms of like long-term real estate investments, like I'm not sure if I can grow that portfolio right now, but we'll see. I'm not exactly sure. I really don't know.
Okay.
I hear two things going on also. So like Andrea's like, there's two parts, and I'm like, yeah, wait, hold on. So you have an up and running, is it a long-term rental that you haven't been to in a year?
Yeah, it's in Charlottesville.
Yeah, long-term, boring, regular old rental. Like the tale as old as time, right? That's
Mhm.
like it's already up and functioning. You have a property manager. I just want to like highlight what Andrew was talking about. Like that is a systematized business model. That
Mhm.
is something that can be sustained as you augment and add. And what I also heard was the thing that you love about it is being active. So this is like a career path almost for you where this
Mhm.
is like taking your obsession. It's taking your focus and you're kind of opening it up and being interactive. So
Mhm.
what part of your journey before real estate, it can be personal, can be professional, do you feel like gives you an unfair advantage in this development business or in your set it forget it long-term real estate?
It was selling shoes for 5 years. So like
Yeah.
operationally, like I'm really sound. Um, yeah, I think that's just the short answer to it. I mean, there's a lot of similarities actually between like selling shoes and like I'm just talking about like the Airbnb side, like listing quality, like also just developing relationships with people. Like I had a lot of local suppliers, like that transfers over to talking to contractors, subcontractors, making relationships with them. And you guys said like real estate's a people business more than a property business. Like I think we've made like some of the best connections in the industry through social media. We've absolutely blown up on Instagram. So I think, yeah, skills are very transferable there.
Woo!
Yeah, and so when you say you have two businesses, you actually have, I'm going to say one and a half, because you
Hmm.
have your rental property that just flows for you. The business you're building today with building and development, that's going to end up to be two businesses, or it should be, in my opinion. One
Hmm.
would be the real estate that you own and managing the property itself, and the other is the business of the health and wellness portion, right? That's what this is all about. So
Yeah.
you're really going to have um, a property that is a developed property and one is a single family, but that's real estate versus the business side that you're talking about for your health and wellness, right? That's
Yeah.
how it sounds to me. Am I
Oh,
does it sound make sense?
listen, I've got a family story that totally exemplifies this. I'm like, give me the mic. Um,
Mhm.
my dad was in the bagel business, and so in order for him to scale, he started buying the property that the stores were in. So he bought the
Mhm.
real estate, built out the warehouse, etc., and then the operational business that owned all the equipment and that made the retail sales and the wholesale sales rented the space from his container from the real estate itself. So I
Mhm.
think it's really interesting to watch you build out a vision and then see all the different ways that you can participate or what ways you'll want to be active. Um,
Mhm.
and oh, I had something else at the tip of my tongue, but it's basically like your business gets to rent from your business. So you get to be landlord profiting from that side. And you also get to be active businessman if that is something you choose to, or you can outsource that and bring in another company. Is that part of your partnership model in building this new development?
No, no, it's not. No. I mean, we bought the land in cash. So the numbers are we bought the land for 37 grand. We took out a $276,000 construction loan. Um, and that's what's been funding the build. And once we fully build out, we'll refinance and then we just got our short-term rental permit. So right from the jump, right when we finish, we're gonna start renting it as a short-term rental through our direct website and through Airbnb.
And is this really just a short-term rental or is it a health and resort spa? I'm sorry, maybe I misunderstood what you were saying.
We're marketing it as it's not a spa. We're marketing it as a luxury wellness retreat. That's what we're marketing it as. But for semantics, yeah, like it is a short-term rental. Like people can book, like obviously it's a one night minimum stay. So yeah, like we're marketing it as a retreat, but technically it is like short-term rental Airbnb.
Gotcha. Okay, that makes sense then. So it
Yeah.
really is real estate that you're in. Okay,
Mhm.
thanks.
Super
I'm just
cool.
needing it.
And you know, luxury retreats, like I'm gonna go and have a staycation somewhere exotic, having all those amenities so someone could have their own experience at your place. Um, I'll sign up. Like this sounds like something I totally would come and be like, ah, I got my own house or I have my
Mhm.
own unit. This is great. I can have everything I want here. So what has been your biggest challenge or struggle lately in real estate?
Um, Biggest challenge has been permitting. Um, like following all the local because real estate development is super local. It's not I feel like it's not something you can just learn like online because every locality has different laws. And in our county, we had to go through a short-term rental permit process. It was a 3-month process after your foundation goes in. Um, and we were under a lot of scrutiny because we've been on social media like super public about the build and yeah, dealing with all of that. Like we eventually got through it, but a lot of roadblocks in the way.
Yeah. Any lessons from the road traveled there for anybody else looking to do something similar?
Yeah, if someone has power and is going to make a decision on your project, then you meet them right away and you tell them like what you're doing. I think that's a mistake that we made. Like we didn't meet everyone involved. So they formed opinions about us before, like just through social media. So like if we could have just went out and met them after we met them and like explained like what we were doing, then we were fine. But the the issues come when there's like a lack of communication there. Um, yeah, I would urge anyone if there's someone that's going to make a decision on your project, then you meet them before you even start. Like that, it only makes sense to.
That is so important. I recommend people when they're going to look at property before they buy it, go talk to the zoning board, go to talk to the building board. They're the people who are going to say, first of all, you're going to get to know them. Second of all, they have a lot of power. They
A lot of power.
have to work within guidelines, but they have a lot of power. So you want to be friends with them. You want to make sure that you're meeting them on their grounds, that they understand what you're doing. Um, you know, Back in the day when I used to work in one area a lot, I used to know the zoning people by name. Christmas time, I baked cookies and I brought them over to them, because I wanted a relationship with them. Um, and it worked very well for us. So you're absolutely right. Get out there and know the people before you start saying, here's what I'm going to do. Make sure you can do it. Right?
100% agree.
Yeah.
Know there and then go there. So, you know, on this podcast, we are helping to highlight things you might want to avoid because other people are learning the lessons the hard way. Um, Andrea and I have both had these experiences too, learn it the hard way. I bought 3 different deals with 3 different structures, and on the back end, trying to systematize my real estate investment business, I was like, oh my goodness, I thought they were similar enough, but they were 3 completely different structures, 3 different animals, and I had to figure out, you know, how to communicate with people to get them all to play nice in the same sandbox. But again, you know there, then you go there, and then you get to pay it forward. So, Andrea, do you have any stories like this where you're like, oh, I wish I would have known that sooner?
Oh my God, everything I did. So I started similar to you. I was about your age when I bought my first property. That was a
Mhm.
long time ago. My
Mhm.
interest rate was 18%. And
Oh my
go
God.
back, I paid one a whole lot higher than that because I bought it on a credit card. But that one, I knew exactly zero about real estate. My
Mhm.
parents weren't homeowners. I didn't know anything about it, but I knew that if I got into real estate, I didn't have to pay taxes. So I did everything wrong. I bought the wrong location. I put in the wrong tenants. I overdid the property. I mean, there was nothing I did right in that property, and it was still profitable. So,
Mhm.
I was just lucky, but the mistakes were there every single step of the way. So it's pretty common when you're starting, you're going to make mistakes and have to fix it. Having someone behind you, a coach and a mentor who has been there and done that, they're the people that can help you and guide you the way you need to go. So
Yeah, yeah. I think the best thing I ever did was take up a realtor that owns property themselves. So he kind of was looking at all the visits that we did from an investing perspective, and he geared me away from a lot of bad deals. And obviously, like the one that was good, he really pushed me towards. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
and having a realtor who owns property as an investor is really important because they're the ones who understand you, as you found out. So
Hmm.
yeah.
Right on. I know we went down the road of like, eesh, what mistakes did you make? What would you pay forward and tell other people not to make? But we also want to know, Rajan, what was a recent win for you and story from this investing journey? Something that highlights like, something you really appreciate about having achieved or having learned. So anyway, over to you. What's your recent win?
Recent win was 2 days ago. We got our short-term rental permit. Um, yeah, after 10 months of uncertainty, like we were building this thing, not really. I mean, we knew we had a good chance of getting the permit like throughout, but it is like you look at it from like an objective perspective, it is kind of dumb to like build the whole thing and not know to at the end like if you're gonna get the permit. But we got it. We got delayed one time. I think me being public on Instagram, it's been such a blessing. Like I get to meet people like you guys, and I get to talk to all these cool people, and it is very cool, but like behind closed doors, like some people were not happy with it. Um, and yeah, it's just a communication thing. Like if they really get to know you as a person, and you make that good first impression, then I think it's always going, not always, but you have a better chance of working out. And we did that with the board. We made like a good relationship after we found out that, they had some issues, brought them out to the site, showed them that we're following all the rules, dotting our I's, crossing our T's. And yeah, that was a win. Like we had to really fight and claw for that permit, but now we can go live.
Yes. And so I love what you're saying, and I appreciate that it was not only a win that you achieved and got the permit, that like it was a little hairy carry there for a little bit,
Yeah.
but that you're celebrating that, and also that your exit strategy or your business strategy now absolutely holds water. And all
Yeah.
the things you were betting on yourself where you're taking the risks. I think there's a bunch of wins wrapped up in that one particular win. So thank you for sharing it with us. I know it's valuable to us, it's valuable to the audience, because no two investors are alike. We all have unique strengths and stories that we bring to the table, and we love to highlight those stories here live on the Built for This podcast. So as we're wrapping up our interview, what are some exciting plans you have in the works over the next 6 to 12 months? And maybe it's more permits, or maybe it's another property, but what's on the horizon for you right now?
Yeah, so I mean, our 2.5 acres is subdivided into 4 lots, and we just combined one of the lots, but we're thinking about building another unit right after finishing this one, and doing the same exact thing. So yeah, that's what's in the near works. Our build is about a month from being fully done. I think we're gonna have guests starting mid-November. Our booking's already open, and we've got a couple bookings already. But yeah, that's what's in the near future. New build and then operate the one that's going to go live in a month.
That's great. Can I just ask a quick question that you're
Yeah,
planning on building the next one? Was that permit to cover all the units, all the lots, or you have to do one for each lot?
you need a short-term rental permit for each lot that you do. But now that we've built the relationships, like we're much more confident now that like we also made some agreements to like improve roads in the county that runs through our land. Like, yeah, I'm pretty confident we'll get the second one like without as much hassle as the first one,
Oh
hopefully.
yeah. Once
Yeah.
you
Good.
build the system, it's much easier to repeat success. Yes?
100%. Can't agree more.
Woo! And Andrea and I, that's what we're all about. Be the person you need to be and overcome some of those uncomfortable limitations from yourself, as well as the limitations you get to experience as your emotion, because you can never fully conceptualize all the roadblocks you're going to encounter along the journey. But being willing to take the risks and become who you're meant to be through the process absolutely forms you, forges you, and high five for persevering and for going for the gold here, man. Thank you so much for spending time with us. If people want to learn more about you, the property, how can they best connect with you?
Yeah, my Instagram is cheetah.rajan, so Chida dot Rajan. That's my handle on Instagram if you want to find out more. I'm gonna get on YouTube soon. And yeah, that's where you can find me. Thank you guys so much for having me.
Thank
Oh,
you for being here. We appreciate it.
our pleasure. You heard it here. Listen, we are built for this and we are made to overcome these obstacles and to meet these challenges in the grand pursuit of building a business, building a real estate investment portfolio, and most importantly, putting those two items together to make sure you have lasting success. Because once you do it once, as you heard from Rajan, you can do it again. So if you are listening to this on a broadcast streaming platform, don't go away. We have another amazing guest lined up for you right here, right after this. Don't go away.
This wraps another episode of Built for This. If you're a real estate investor with a unique edge, apply to join us at builtforthisshow.com/guest.